And if you didn't watch it on Sunday, I don't know what you were doing, because it was Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady versus Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning for the match two. The match number two. I can give a play, like kind of go through everything if you want me to, or did you have any first thoughts before I did that? Did you enjoy it?
Well, yeah, I would say this, that they drug it out too long. Number one, the beginning of it was, and then they were, it was funny. They drug it out for the start for an hour, and then they were fighting darkness at the end. So I didn't know why they had an hour build up to it, or they should have started earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the weather didn't help it with the rain. Is certainly on the front nine. Coupled with that, with the fact that Mickelson was really nervous. I got to be honest with you. For the first 4 or 5 holes, I was having a hard time. I had it on and I was kind of watching it, but I had a hard time not getting sidetracked.
Mm-hmm.
I think after Brady made that one
Yep,
shot,
I got that on here, my breakdown here, yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to go through what your breakdown is, but
I just go through exactly what happened, not like a full play-by-play, but just to kind of go through. So, as you said, Phil Mickelson was nervous, and Tom Brady was playing like doggy doo-doo for the first like 6 holes or so. So, Woods and Peyton Manning take the first lead on the third hole. Peyton actually comes in. So how the setup was working is the first 9 holes, they were just playing their game, and then whichever of the 2 partners had the better score, they took that one as a team. The back half became a modified best ball, and then they would alternate shots. So all 4 players would take the tee shot. The team then could decide which ball they wanted to use. And then, so if Tom Brady hit a nicer tee shot, or maybe a tee shot that Phil Mickelson felt better about getting a second shot on, they would use Tom Brady's ball, and then Phil would take the second shot, and then they would alternate from there on out. So in the beginning, it was pretty cool. On the 4th hole, Peyton Manning actually was the one to get the birdie on a par 3, which throughout the day he did really well on the par 3s, and he did a nice chip in for birdie. And then there was on hole number 7. So at this point, Tiger Woods and Peyton Manning were up by 3, and it seemed like it was going to get away from him. Phil Mickelson again on hole 7 was not having a great hole. Tom Brady was on his 4th shot going in and rips one from way outside, curls back in to make it, to save par, to stay within 3. Because they could have gone down 4 if he did not make that shot, if not worse, depending on how Phil played and Tom Brady. But Tom Brady knocks it in. That was really the best moment of the day, was that shot, because Charles Barkley was just ripping him a new one. I want to play you in golf. And good old Charles Barkley. And then all of a sudden he makes that, and Tom Brady's like, yeah, Charles? So that was pretty cool. All right, so then on hole number 11, so on the back half, hole number 11, Tom and Phil win their first hole. Phil made a great drive, and Tom putted it in. Peyton Manning on hole 14 then falters to make it, then bring Tom Brady and Phil Mickelson back within 1. So now it's a 1-stroke game going into hole 15. Phil then makes a big, huge putt, a nice long one, to again stay within 1. Tiger Woods put some pressure on him, and Phil made it. 16th hole was a cool par 3. So Russell Wilson actually came on, and he said, if any player gets within 12 feet of the hole, I will give 100,000 meals to his charity. And Phil Mickelson comes up, starts it off, gets it within 12 feet. Boom. Tom Brady then steps up, makes a crazy shot, gets it within 10 feet. Peyton Manning then comes up and gets it within 17 and a half inches of the hole. Pretty great. If you would have said who was going to be the farthest from the hole, who's betting Tiger Woods? Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
So that was cool on 16. So Russell Wilson then donated 300,000 meals to their charity for the COVID relief. And then, unfortunately, that's kind of where it waned off. It was kind of an anticlimactic finish. They all just parred for the last holes and tied it out, and they didn't even try. They didn't even put pressure on Peyton Manning to make the last putt. They said Tiger Woods got close enough, and they just said pick it up, and it was over. I wanted him to make Peyton Manning hit that last one because he had already faltered on 14. It could have made it really interesting all of a sudden to keep going into a playoff, but you already said you dragged it off too wrong, so I guess you wouldn't have really appreciated that. So
No, I would have been fine with that. My problem was how much they drug it out at the beginning.
yes.
I mean, they spent 20 minutes on the practice tees talking to him. It seemed like then they went through all this preview, and it was like, I mean, it was 45 minutes into the program, I think, and they were still on the. I think Tiger went over to the putting green or something, or was it Tom Brady? I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
But they drug it out for an hour before the start, and then, like I said, they were rushing for darkness. And I will say this, that I think the production was okay, and they made $20 million for charities. That's great, but and I'm sure no crowds had something to do with it. But this was nowhere near as good as Tiger and Phil Mickelson last year doing the head-to-head. That was fun. They were going back and forth, and I thought that was competitive, and it was a lot more interesting, or what's the word? We're absorbing whatever, where your eyes
Engaged.
were on the TV watching. Yeah,
Engaged. Yeah.
I just didn't feel that. I thought it was, like I said, a neat thing. It was kind of funny to hear the ribbing. And I just wanted to say one other thing, that they were talking the whole match about Charles Barkley's bogey challenge on the 18th hole, and I thought, okay, this should be fun because everybody knows Charles isn't that good of a golfer. But because of the light, they ended up showing it condensed. So they basically showed Charles drive or hit it off the tee, and didn't show. It was like, and then immediately showed him at his cart to do the next shot, and then he went. So they didn't show it as, you didn't hear him talking, you didn't hear him saying anything. It was basically just, and then he lifts it out, misses his bogey. But it's, again, because you drug it out and you were running out of light, and who knows, maybe they planned on doing that the whole time. But I thought, okay, that was not nearly as fun as listening to Charles have to take it from other guys or whatever as he's driving his cart up to the next shot.
Give Tom Brady a chance to talk some smack back at him.
Yeah, it was just like this, by the way, we got to show you this, and it went boom. It was over in like 2 minutes, and it was like, okay, that was anticlimactic too, because they built that up most of the rounds. They remember that it's Charles Barkley's going to have the 18th hole bogey challenge for 150 if he makes bogey, 250 if he makes a par, which probably is not a real big chance with Charles, but much like my golf game. But anyway, I thought I'd give the overall thing about a C or so, a C plus. There were some interesting parts, but all in all, for a 5-hour production, it wasn't nearly as entertaining as what it might have been.
That's probably fair. I did like the back half of the tournament. I thought it was kind of fun to watch them go. I wanted Phil and Tom just to come back, just to see a playoff, just to make it interesting, and they did make it interesting, at least to come back within one, so it wasn't a blowout going into the back nine. But
keep in mind, and I was thinking playoff too, but then that dawned on me. Keep in mind that if they would have had to have a playoff hole, they would have likely had to do it the next day because it was too dark to play another hole.
Maybe that's why they didn't make Peyton hit that shot. They didn't want to go any further. They just said, you know what, screw it. It's too dark to play any more golf at this point. I agree. I don't know what that first hour was. I turned it on expecting it to start at 3:00, and I'm just sitting there waiting. Like, where are they going to play? Or are they not going to play? Like, they're just hitting golf balls off the tee.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
A little introduction is fine, but an hour was too much. And I just was going to say that, TV, the filters they have on TV cameras make it look a lot brighter than it is out there. And I don't know if you were paying attention to outdoors. I know I was looking out my window knowing that they're in Florida. We're in the same time zone.
Yep.
And it was getting dark. Like, I wasn't sure how they were supposed – if they would have been 15
And it was a cloudy
longer,
day, so it was really dark. It wasn't some nice Florida day. It was obviously rainy and nasty out, so, it was – I'm sure it was extremely dark. They probably – Phil may not even seen how close it was. Maybe he just thought it was closer than it actually was.
Yeah, and if you're at the right angle, it always seems closer.
Right. The only other thing I wanted to mention, in the beginning, the one thing that did come out that was pretty funny was they asked Peyton who would his caddy be if he was able to choose, and he starts going through some people that he's like, you know, I thought about Eli or maybe Nick Foles.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you know what? I'll send it on Bill Belichick. Yeah, Bill Belichick would be my caddy.
Yeah, Peyton was definitely the bright spot of the.
You know, I took that as kind of a shot of like, you know what? I would be where you were if I had that great of a coach. Let me get that coach and see where I'm at instead of.
Yeah, he was definitely the bright spot of the driving range.
Yeah, and then he goes. Then he said Tom Brady. If you'd ask him, it's probably be Gronkowski because Gronkowski does whatever he says.
Yeah. Yeah, he was taking some shots, that's for sure.
That was funny. That's awesome. All right, cool. So yeah, that was just a quick segment there. Yeah, it was. I agree. C plus maybe at best. I did enjoy the last few holes. I thought it was cool going back and forth. I was hoping that Phil and Tom completed the comeback just to make it even more interesting, but they didn't. And the rest is. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content. The like button is on this side for mobile. If you have any of your own thoughts or questions, comment down below. We may just answer it next video. Thanks. See ya.